We look like we are working to me. What do we got today? Well, following on from last night, we have the other Kings of War Champions box I picked up. This one being the xorxoi prowlmaster. So before I get into this guy, let's take a quick look at the one from last night, which was the Bloody Cardinal. So he's still in his bag because he needs to get washed because he's resin before I try to glue him together. But last night we got the really cool snake guy built. He's really fun. Big old wiggly snake tail and stuff. This big scythe. And we got these three really fun guys built. They were super cool. This guy's got his big like demon dildo. It's a weapon. And let's see, we got another one of those. Then we had built up some of these little guys on the channel last night, but I finished the rest of them today. So they're really fun. This box was really, really good. I was quite impressed with this box overall as I finished it up last night. So I have really high hopes for this xorxoi prowlmaster box. This box does have more minis in it in total, which is pretty cool, but you don't get like a big monster. You get kind of these like medium-sized monster guys instead. So you're going to get 18 guys, 17 of whom are plastic, one of which is going to be resin. These are all the new multi-part plastic kits for the xorxoi, which are like Asian flavored werewolves. I think there's something in their lore about them really hating magic or something like that. But it also means you just get some like Shaolin monks and some fucking werewolves, and that's cool as shit. So the boss even has like a little Kieran buddy. There he is. It's pretty cool. So yeah, so I think it's a unit of like regular cavalry or regular infantry, a unit of heavy infantry, and then like a monster unit, which is kind of cool. So let's crack her open. But yeah, I was very impressed with the box last night. I had a lot of fun building it. I'm really looking forward to painting it. If you notice, Kings of War is a rank and flank game that uses multi-bases. So you build one base as like a little diorama, which is very, very fun to do. It's why I bought some Kings of War stuff in the past, is because I wanted to do that. It's really fun. But these guys are going to be going on independent bases like those demons I just showed, because I really want to use them for skirmish games. That's kind of my goal with these. I actually want to add these to my Empire of Japan Weird World War II army, because I think some like Asian werewolves will just make that army even cooler than it already is. So I'm pretty excited about that. All right, so these are the new like textured multi-bases from Mantic. They're made of plastic. They seem pretty nice. They have these little tabs on the bottom so you can kind of like connect them to each other so you can make bigger or smaller units at a time. They seem nice. They really do. They got a neat bit of like little ground texture on them and stuff, which is kind of cool. I won't be using them, but they seem nice. Looks like we get two different sizes of those here, which is kind of cool. Oh, I actually get... Are all these sizes different sizes? Yeah, you got a whole smattering of different sizes. So there's that. That's kind of neat. You get two sets of connectors, and then we get all our cards and stuff. And we'll take a look at those at the end. So first up, let's not bury the lead. Let's do the cool werewolves, and then we'll do the monks. All right. Whoop. There we go. Let's get that zoomed in. Okay, so what do we have here? We have what looks like a sprue and a half. It's kind of interesting. So I don't know why they didn't just do a 2 sprue set, but we have what looks like a sprue and a half of werewolf boys, which is pretty fun. And it looks like they can have halberds or swords. I like that one a lot. This is a more like falchion kind of Middle Easty kind of sword. I think these guys are meant to be like a hodgepodge of Asian flavored things. They look to have a lot of like Korean and Chinese influence in the armor, with like a tiny bit of like Japanese kind of worked in there, right? But you kind of have this like layered armor. You've got kind of like the tassels, and it's kind of what it looks like to me. It's sort of like this like Korean Chinese hybrid, but it looks nice. And I think honestly, if you paint it up like samurai armor, like I'm going to do, I think it's going to look really, really cool with Empire of Japan armies for weird World War II stuff. So this one's got 5 sword arms, 3 pole arms, 3 chests, 3 sets of legs, 3 shields. Alright, so it looks like we're not going to get any like open hands or anything like that. We've got 3 heads on here. Some of them are pretty cool. I like their little beards. They're kind of cute. Ah. Yeah, it's kind of cute. They've all got the kind of like long head tassel too. These sprues are very obviously made in Archon Studios. This is 100% Archon Studio sprue, and it looks fantastic. The detail's really good and crisp. There's no like weirdness around the feet and stuff like you sometimes get with Mantic models where the details are kind of soft there. Right, you can see all the like the rivets on the armor, all the plates and stuff. I like the shield with the werewolf face on it. That's cool. So yeah, so that's one of our sprues. That holds 3 guys, and I'm guessing this one holds. Oh. Ah, okay. So you get 4 guys on a runner. All right, that makes a lot more sense. And this one's kind of like a regular trooper or like a boss, right? So you have like a shield to dictate this guy's the boss. I like the heads without the armor. Those are great. Those are really nice looking wolf heads. Yeah, those are wonderful. And you get a lot of extra heads on here, which is really cool. So you're going to get another 3 sword arms, so 8 sword arms in total for 4 guys. So that's really good. Um, Including what looks like right and left arms. Yeah, so you could actually have a guy with double swords. That's pretty cool. And then what looks like you're only going to get right spear arms, but you can have 4 different spear arms, 8 different sword arms, including right and left, or 5 different shield arms, and then you're going to get 3, 7, 9, 8, 10. You're going to get 10 different heads for 4 guys, which is fantastic, especially by Mantic standards. Mantic does usually not have that much options for the heads. So that's really cool, including bear heads, which I really love. 100% those will be getting used. But yeah, these look really nice. These look really, really, really nice. No notes. Yeah, they look good. All right. Oh, interesting. We got another sprue and a half kind of situation going on. It's kind of cool. I like how that works. It's not a little bit of extra sprue is nice. It gives you a lot more options and stuff, which Mantic doesn't always do, which is so it's cool to see. All right, so we got some werewolf junk. We got 2 sets of werewolf junk on this one, and then we've got 4 bear arms, 2 ranger arms with bows and quivers. We've got 5 heads and what looks like different bodies. Oh, I like how that works. That's really nice. So this is the hood, because some of these you can build these into either rangers or like werewolf mauler kind of guys. And that's really cool. You can see the ears are actually like on the hood. That's neat. I like that a lot. Looks like the heads just go bloop and plug right in. And I imagine these kind of smaller ones go into the heads of the hoods. Okay, so you're going to get 3 of these in total. And it looks like they have each model's going to have the same legs, but it's going to have a different torso. And then you swap the arms out depending on what you want. So if you want a melee guy, you swap it to that. Or if you want a ranged guy, you swap it to that. Yeah, that's pretty darn cool. I'm not gonna lie. I like how that works a lot. You're going to get 1 extra set of bow arms, presumably for a leader, because that looks like a leader bow to me. And you're going to get 1 extra set of melee, like mauler arms, also presumably for a leader, which I guess are these kind of more crazy ones. Look at the detail on the fingers, though. Look how fine the fingers are. They did a very good job on that. You can even really clearly see the differentiation between the finger and the claw there. Really nice work from Archon. Absolutely great. I will say that some of the detail when you get down into the feet is a little bit softer, but a lot still more detailed than by Mantic standards. I don't know why it's the feet that always are kind of like the soft detail in Mantic models, but yeah, you can see it again a little bit here. Right, a little bit of soft detail there. I think that's a sculpting thing though. I don't think that's an Archon Studios thing. But yeah, those are awesome. You're gonna get a lot of different heads too. So for the Mauler werewolves, you're gonna get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so you're gonna get 7 of those, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're gonna get 7 of the archer heads as well. So I think we'll build an archer and a mauler, and then I don't know what will make the third one. All right, and then you're gonna get what I'm assuming are 2 identical sprues. Yep, holding 5 guys each for our monks here. Looks like some of them actually have kind of an arm already on the body. That's interesting. And then it looks like they get like some kind of like staff or like a chakram. It looks like. They look cool though. And then, wow, so many little bald heads. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 little bald heads, including one wearing a hat, which I'm guessing you're supposed to use to differentiate the leader. But, I mean, we're just going to always use the hat one because it's cool. Yeah, a lot of variation in the weapons. Like this looks like a pine cone, and, you know, that looks like a Kong. That looks like a boob. Right, a lot of variation there. Even in the chakrams, like where they grab it, here in the middle or on the side. Yeah, they're cool. So we'll build up a couple of these guys too, and you get 2 of those in total, giving you 10 of these guys. Last but not least, we have the prowlmaster. This is the what they call master crafted resin. I don't know why they call it that, but that's what they call it. It's kind of more like a more of like an ABS like poured resin. It's usually pretty nice. So he's got a stylized base with places for everybody to stand and stuff, so it's kind of neat. And then, yeah, that detail is pretty cool. I ain't gonna lie. This resin feels interesting too. It feels very plasticky. I don't know what it is, if it's some kind of like Cyocast or Spincast or something like that, but it feels very plasticky. And it holds detail really well. Definitely still 100% wash it though before you try to prime it. That's kind of cool. We got his big bow. You can see there's no like warping or anything really. Kind of cool. And he's got this little sword that he's like pulling off of his hip. And then we get into, I guess this is a tree. It goes on the base like that. Oh, looks like we had a casualty. Our little Kieran dog, it looks like his tail broke off. That's an easy fix though, so not the end of the world. And if you notice, there's no flashing on this stuff, which is really fascinating. Like at all, there's like none. Yeah, there's our little Kieran dog. So when you have Kierans, do they have external junk like regular animals, or do they have internal junk like lizards? Because they're kind of a mix of like both. I'm asking the important questions here. Yeah, he seems nice. He's got to get washed though with the other guy, so they gotta go and take a bath, and then I can put them together. But yeah, they'll just be standard super glue. Don't use plastic glue on these guys. All right, then we get into all of our cards. Don't know what the hell that is. Here is the digital instructions. Here is the physical instructions. Oh, okay. So they do intend you to do some with 2 weapons. That's interesting. All right, we'll have to build something like that. Oh, and it looks like one of the heads actually can get a top knot, or maybe all of them can. And there's our werewolves. Oh, it looks like the werewolves might be a little more prescribed than I assumed, but we'll play with that and see if that's true. Nice. And then we get into our cards. So here's our prowlmaster rules. Oh, he's got a nice different piece of art on the back. That's cool. Xorxoi is a Hemision planestalker, an experienced and skilled tracker who has long scouted the frontiers of the Empire. Bold and courageous, he is never so happy as when he's exploring new lands and seeing new things. He hopes to venture into Mantica. The fuck is that? I don't know. Along with his Tianggo dog Shaka to stop the insidious spread of magic across Panathor. Okay. There was a lot of words in that. Also, this font is really small. Yeah, that font's really small. I'm not gonna lie. I'll put that closer to the camera in case you want to see it. Because that's a really small font, man. Alright. Banner of the Broken Spear. These are our 4 dudes. Well, that's kind of cool. He kind of looks like a knoll there. And then these are our Blood Hunters, which are our big werewolves. I wish each one of these cards had unique art for the unit, because I assume Mantic has art for each unit, right? They have to. So it'd be cool if they'd put that on the card. But I do really like that the cards have, they have some lore on them. I think that's really cool. I do like that it tries to give you a, that looks really Warhammer. That doesn't really seem to fit Mantic very well. It's a lot more of a grimdarky kind of sigil, right? But I don't know. I don't think of Mantic that way. But see, this is a much more respectable font. Like you can actually watch the font size get smaller. Yeah, they need to make that font bigger. If he has too many rules for the card, then you just need to not give him so many rules. These are the unit rules. Yeah. Pretty darn cool. Pretty darn cool units. So let's build some of these up. So I think the blood claws, the like big werewolves, I think we're gonna try to put those on 40s. And I think the armored werewolves, I think we're gonna put on 30s. Or 32s. We're gonna clip out a couple of the monks too. So alright, so let's do one of the monks with the pre-attached arm, and then we'll do one without a pre-attached arm. Because I don't really feel like there's a ton to the monks. Like they seem like really nice monk models. So if you want a bunch of monks, they seem awesome for that. But I'll also be honest, if you give me a box filled with a whole bunch of furry werewolves and monks, the monks are going to be the thing I care the least about. So yeah. So we'll only do like 2 monks. But they're just going to go in 25s. These are 25s that I 3D print myself. They come from files on my mini factory. If you search up hollow 2mm wall base, you should be able to find the same files. I've been using these files for years and years and years. At least 5 years now. I've been printing these bases out. I absolutely love them. They're like the GW bases, but like actually better. Because they're all the same height, and they actually have less of a slanted wall on the edge of the base. But there's enough space underneath each one of them to actually put magnets and stuff. So really great there. All right, let's do these guys first. And I've got 2 of these. I think I might have some more 32s floating around. But we'll do 2 to start. It's interesting. The plastic color here is different. This is very similar to the plastic color that some of the Archon He-Man stuff comes in. Which, by the way, those are also really great models. I really can't sing the praises of Archon enough. I have yet to see them really screw something up. Everything I've gotten from them has been wonderful. Even this stuff that they kind of do like on commission, like, right, because this is a Mantic design printed by Archon. Even like when they do that, it's just absolutely wonderful. I'd actually like to pick up some of their D&D Encounters minis. Some of the new ones are really cool. There's one that's like a bunch of like undead mutants that's really neat. There's a bunch of tree monster like bug people that just came out too that are really cool. All right, we'll let our legs glue on and we will get our other guys ready to rock. So these guys, we're also going to do 2 of these guys because I want to do 1 of each flavor. But it does say these guys are specifically keyed. So we are going to test that out as well. Actually, you know what? We'll do the 2 from the non-command sprue. Yeah, so it says B is supposed to go with B, etc., etc. But, I mean, this looks really the connection points look very flat to me. So I'm assuming that's more of a recommendation, but we'll see once we get them on the table. And we're going to do 1 of the archers and 1 of the mauler guys. Now, in this box, to build the correct army, you're not supposed to do that. It looks like you're supposed to build all melee guys to go with the standard list set, because Kings of War Champions, every couple of years or every other year or something like that, Mantic seems to come out with a new method for doing small scale Kings of War games. So Kings of War Champions, each box kind of revolves around a hero, and it's kind of like a taster of all the models in that faction. Giving you like some of the nicer plastic minis from that faction, right? And a whole bunch of the newer stuff, which is really cool. So you end up getting like just generally really cool models and a nice selection of them. But the each box is like a fixed list that are all supposed to fight each other, kind of like Warhammer Spearhead. Now let's actually get a third guy out because I have another base sitting right here. Actually, let's do this guy. Yeah, so the predetermined faction lists are supposed to fight each other in a spearhead style setting. So you don't really mess with the faction list. You just kind of take it as is and have them fight each other, which does increase the rate that you can get games on the table, which is kind of cool. But also it means you don't get any of the list building. Now, if you don't like the list building, I mean, that's perfect for you then. But if you do like the list building, I imagine you're not going to be super happy you don't get to do it. Okay. So I think we'll make one of these guys with the punchy fists. And I think we're also going to, I'd like to build the two-hander one, because there is a two-hander. Yeah, there it is. This one's also two-hander. I would like to build that to try it out. This is kind of a cool pose too. We'll try that out too. All right, let's give it a go. Let's see, this guy. Yeah, like that's kind of like down on his side, right? Like a very kung fu-y kind of pose. I dig that. I think that chakrams are actually supposed to be like a ranged unit. Which is kind of fun. So I guess they're supposed to be throwing these things like Xena Warrior Princess. But I mean, honestly, they also very clearly look like they can punch with them, so. Okay, over here giving the like Buddha palm. Alright, let's see. He needs a bald coconut. There's a lot of those. People said, I'm gonna go down to the beach and poke me in the coconut. And they did. And they did. There we go. Alright, let's see. Yeah, that's kind of cool. That went together really well. Neat little monk guy. And we'll check his sizing, but I think he's going to be great size to use for like World War II stuff. Oh, I wanted to use the two-hander. Shit. Let's do a two-hander. Yeah, I think these guys are going to be great size for like going with the Warlord games stuff. What two-hander? I like the one that looks like a boob. Let's do the boob two-hander. The boob-hander. And the other guy needs a right arm. Which I think we'll do. So this is for the boob-hander. Or is this for the boob-hander? No, that's a left arm. We need a right arm. Yeah, having a couple just like open hands would have been nice. But I guess at the same time, we have those two guys that have open hands kind of already built onto them. So I guess that's kind of handling that. Oh wow, that one's really like out there. Actually, you know what? That would look really cool in this guy. Sorry, bro. I don't mean to rip your arm off, but it's going to be cool. It's going to look like you're getting ready to throw it. Yeah, that's cool. As I wiggle everything on this model around. Yeah, I like that a lot. It's like he's getting ready to throw it now. Alright, that means we'll just give this arm to this guy. It's already off the spro. Go. And we'll give this guy the cool rice hat head. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's got some fun, like, 90s flavor to it. I dig that. Oh, I do need the other arm, actually. I clipped the wrong arm out. I had it backwards. Alright. Boop. Boop. So not all of these guys look like they have cloth on every arm, but I think it'll end up working out. But you might want to pay a little bit of attention to that when you're building them. For example, that arm that's kind of like really like pulling back and throwing, I think that one has like a sleeve on it. I think I put it onto a guy that doesn't have a sleeve on that side. But I think it'll still look okay, but if that will bother you, I do want to mention it because I do think that is a thing here. Some of these seem to have like shoulder armor to try to alleviate that problem, but I think you might still run into it if you're not at least a little bit aware. All right. You can put his noggin on. Bonk. That's kind of cool. I like this pose a lot, though. Where he's getting ready to throw it. I think that's really cool. I dig that a lot. And the rice hat is great. I actually wish there was more than that in there. All right, on to the real stars of the show. Werewolf time. Do I remember what bodies these are? No. One of them is B. That's all I remember. All right, so it looks like we've got B and C. Okay. So it says this is the C chest. So what we're going to do is we're going to clip that out. And we're going to see if it fits better on one body than the other. And then we're going to do the same thing with the B chest as well. So in case this is the way, we'll be able to test it. But these look flat on flat to me, so yeah, that's just flat on flat, man. There's no reason to have that connect to a specific body. Maybe there will be with the ones that have the shawls, but this guy. Oh wait, that's for the other werewolves. Yeah, that's not these guys. That's right. That's my bad. The other ones are the one that it says have the prescribed bodies and stuff. So we will we'll do that for the next guys. For these guys, we'll just put them together. There we go. You know what would be really cool for the monks? Some like Zhang He style claws. Like just big like claws. Hello, good nights. Greetings from Spain. This is a miniature. Is it Chinese or Japanese samurais? Hello. Greetings from Hawaii. These are miniatures from Mantic Games. This is the Kings of War xorxoi Huntmaster box as part of their Champions line. They're kind of like Asian inspired werewolves. So, let's see and get an idea of some of the models again. Yeah, they're very Asian inspired, very Chinese, like Korean coded in my opinion. But I'm gonna use them as kind of like samurai werewolves to go with my weird World War II Empire of Japan army. Because I want some more monsters for them. So that's what they're going to be for me. But you could really make them a whole bunch of different stuff. Or you could actually play the game they're intended for, which is Kings of War Champions, which is supposedly pretty fun, but I've never tried it. All right. So let's see. I've got one spear here. I think I want to do a guy with two swords, so I think we'll clip some double swords out and try that out as well. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything where it goes across the body, so don't think we're going to have to worry about that. Oh, that's a cool kind of wavy sword. Yeah, let's do that one. And then we'll have one of the bear heads, and we'll do a head with a helmet. And what helmet head do we want? I mean, they're all pretty cool. I'm really drawn to this one. I don't know why. But he also feels a lot more commandery to me. What's over here? Oh, choices, choices. Which one do I want? Yeah, I'm really digging this head. Let's use this head. There we go. I like turtles and black Templars. Uh, cool. I mean, if you like turtles, do you play Croup? Is a fantasy. Yes, yes. Kings of War, Mantic Games stuff is set in a fantasy world called Panithor. It kind of started off as a refuge for people to use their Warhammer Fantasy models when Warhammer Fantasy died, but has since kind of grown into its own thing, including having these like Asian inspired werewolf guys and a couple other kind of unique factions as well. Um, you could say this is their equivalent of Cathay for the old world, but I think that's unfair. Um, these guys are considerably different from Cathay. The only thing is that they're both like Asian inspired, Asian flavored. They've got that furikake on their rice. Furikake rice. I'm getting sushi tonight, so I can't really complain. Looking forward to that. Sounds good. Gonna get me some salmon. Gonna be delicious. All right. So we're gonna put the head with no armor on this one. So I like the idea that this guy's a little more lightly armored than the others. So he's got the double swords. Yeah, that's a pretty cool werewolf guy. Yeah, that's pretty freaking sweet, I'm not gonna lie. Getting ready to make the stabs. Alright, and this guy is gonna get sword or halberd and shield. I went with the werewolf head shield. There might be a better shield that looks better pose wise, but I think the werewolf head shield is cool, so. And I think you get 4 guys on this runner for these kind of bigger, heavier infantry werewolf guys. So I think I'm going to do one with a halberd, one with double swords, one with a sword and shield. Maybe I'll do another one with a halberd. I don't know. But I'm definitely going to build one of each, like, kind of guy. The instructions want you to build all halberd guys so that you have the matching force for the Kings of War Champions game, but I'm really treating this like a taster box for skirmish game minis. So I'm not really worrying about the Kings of War Champions guys so much, or the Kings of War Champions rules so much. That's why they're also going on my 3D printed brown bases and not on the big multi bases that they are supposed to go on. This BB like pointing maybe? I kind of like it going up, but I feel like if it's pointing, it's more combat-y. Yeah, that feels a little more combat-y and less like dressage. I don't know what do you call military stuff when they do like parades and stuff? In horses, it's called dressage. I don't know what it's called in the military. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty sweet. The spear halberd looks really good. The armor looks Asian. Yeah, it's very Asian inspired. It feels very Korean or Chinese to me more than Japanese. But like I said, I'm going to use it for my Empire of Japan army for my weird World War II stuff. So Like he's going to be fighting like U.S. Marines. So I mean, you know, the options are there, right? It's like Asian, you know, it's kind of generic Asian more than anything specific. All right, let's see. Here's our runners. Now these ones are supposed to have specific pieces they call to. So let's see if that holds true. So we're going to cut out C and B. And one of these we're going to make the archer variant, and one of these we're going to make the melee variant, so we can kind of see them both. The archers to me look like they have very prescribed pieces. So this one says it's A. This one says it's B. This one says it's B. That says it. Okay, so this is all B then. All right, so this is A and C. Okay. So yeah, we'll see if it's very prescribed. The instructions say it is, but these look like flat pieces to me, so I don't really see it being very prescribed. So we'll see how it goes. All right, so first off, this is the melee body for B. Does it? Okay. I mean, that's also fine. Ranged body for B. Also fine. Also fine. Okay, let's try A. Or let's try, yeah. Sorry, this is A or C, and this is A or C. Okay. All right, the bodies are definitely not prescribed. You can mix and match those. I don't think you'll have any problem with that. I'm assuming the arms for these guys are going to be prescribed for the hooded ones. But yeah, they're going to be prescribed. But the other bodies, they're whatever. You can do whatever you want with those. All right, so this guy or this guy for our archer. This feels more like an archer pose to me, so I think we'll use that one for our archer, and we'll use the other one for our melee guy. So we can be looking a little bit further, a little bit like kind of head on, or a little bit more off to the side. This one has a bone necklace, this one does not. All right, let's check our arms, and then we'll kind of go from there. Yes, I see is a bear's heads. Sorry, my English is very basic. I use the Google Trenductor. Nice. Um, Google Translate's very cool. That's awesome. I'm sorry, I don't know any Spanish. I speak a very tiny bit of Japanese and a very tiny bit of sign language. I can kind of hold a conversation in sign language, but that's about it. I'm sorry. Okay, so this one is A. So let's try this and see which one of those bodies it fits on. Because the archer arms looked very prescribed. This one is A then. Alright, let's try the other one. We'll put that on the other arm too, since these are supposed to go in specific bodies, so even though it's going to end up probably being an extra bit, we will put it on there. I hear you, buddy. What are you doing? My dog is sitting in here with me, and he, I think, wants to get up. You okay? Do you need a hand? What are we doing? He needs help now these days, so he has been through a lot this year. Just keeping an eye on him. Alright, how does this work? Alright, here, buddy, I'll help you. What? Up. Nope, we're rolling over. Okay. He has rolled over and knocked me off my own desk. Aren't they werewolves? Yes, they are big old werewolf guys. Here, the box is probably a better way to see them, actually. So these are the ones I'm doing now. These are the ones in the armor. These are the monks. So you get kind of 3 kind of big, like, strong werewolf, like, smashy guys, and then you get 3 monks. Alright, I do not understand how this arm connects to this body at all. So we just won't use that one. Sorry, my dog is kind of disabled now, so I don't really want to make him move around too much. And he has decided to roll over and kind of kick me off my own desk. So I apologize for that. I like to see miniatures that are different from typical workshop ones. Do you play Warhammer 40k? I used to play 40k. I don't really play 40k anymore. I do a lot of like kind of like indie wargaming and skirmish gaming these days. A lot of one-page rules, Stargrave, Frostgrave, The Doomed, Space Station 13, or Space Station 0. I don't remember the name of it. It's a fantastic game, but Space Station, I think it's Space Station 13. Stuff like that. Rangers of Shadow Deep. A lot of those kind of games these days, more than actually playing Games Workshop games. I still like Games Workshop models. I still build them and paint them. I painted some Pestigores on the channel a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that. Right? So, yeah, so I still really like Games Workshop models. They're still really nice. I just don't tend to play Games Workshop games anymore. Partly because I can't keep up with the rules. And they require too much mental headspace. And it kind of takes the fun out of the game for me, right? There's too many like little rules and interactions and stuff to worry about, so I don't have fun. I much prefer kind of simpler games that are kind of more like visceral and immediate. I have a lot more fun with those. So yeah, that's why I've been playing lots of indie stuff lately. And you also just require less models, right? Like I don't have to have an entire army. I can have a couple minis, right? Kind of build them however I want to, however I think is the coolest, and just have fun with it. You know what I mean? There's a lot less prescription in those kind of like mini agnostic games and stuff. Be cool to build a diorama of werewolves versus vampires. I mean, you could. I don't know if Mantic has a vampire line. They definitely have an undead line. I don't know if they have a vampire line, but GW has a ton of vampire stuff, so. All right. So let's see. This guy works. Hmm. Did I put the right arm on there? Hold on. This is where you should always pay attention to your instructions. I just am kind of clipping stuff out willy-nilly. Does that arm go on there? Yes, because this one goes here, like that. All right, so this guy's kind of, the arrow is more pulled up. This guy's getting ready to pull the arrow up. So, yeah, that's going to be a cool pose, though, when it's fully together. I like to see miniatures that are different from typical workshop ones. I agree. It's nice to see different stuff, right? Every year I do a thing where I get into a new game or like a new like style of mini, and I kind of pick it at the beginning of the year, and then I kind of build and play it throughout the entire year. So like one year I did Mantic, so I put together like 3 different Mantic armies that year. One year I did Fallout. One year I did Conquest, which was really fun. Last year it was multi-part plastic kits, like from Frostgrave and stuff like that. So like these kind of guys. This was last year, and this year I'm going into the like building my own forces from what's out there kind of mindset. Um, so I've got some demons and I'm building kind of like a custom demon army using a bunch of different ranges. Um, and these guys they're going to go in for my World War II minis, right? Like I'm using that like it's they're my toys. I'm going to play with them how I want to kind of mindset this year. That's sort of my goal of this year. Um, is to really define like how I want to use the minis and how I want to play and stuff like that. And kind of think of it as like kind of like a D&D kind of mindset more. So kind of what I'm trying to go for this year. Sort of like just do what I think looks cool and what I think is going to be fun. He's firing at a wounded enemy. He could be. He's also, to me, it looks like he's getting ready to pick the bow up to shoot it, right? Instead of like actively aiming, he's like getting ready to draw and aim. Um, that's kind of how I read it, but he could 100% just be shooting a dude that's on the ground. uh, I like doing custom armies on Etsy, collecting the most unique and fun orcs. Yeah, orcs are great, especially for looking for like unique and fun stuff. Um, if you want some really cool orc stuff, check out Station Forge. and Mr. Modulorc. They are both, like in my opinion, the best orcs on the market. Station Forge because they do a lot of really cool orc monsters and stuff, and Mr. Modulorc because he just is the best orcs. I don't think that's even up for debate. like like tons of bits, tons of kit bashing, so much variation. Like it's insane. Mr. Modulorc is phenomenal. All right, so let's see. We want to make one of the melee guys. All right. Do we want the chest that has the necklace, or do we want the one without the necklace? Kind of feeling without the necklace. It feels more feral than I like that. Yeah, just going through the options for the hands. I think I like this arm, and I think I like this hand. I think that's what we're going to go with. So you can see I'm kind of putting the arms on first here, and that's because since the bodies are flat transition and connection, that means I'm going to wait to twist the body to connect it up. So I can try to get like I can try to get the best pose I can out of it that way. Oh, this arm might actually be really cool. Let's check this one out. Sorry, I just checked the other half sprue and was like, oh man, this arm might be better. Yeah, that's a cooler arm. I like that one better. All right, and that's going to go on our body down here. I think so. Orcs are so recognized and so easy to kit bash. It gives you an endless amount of combinations, and you just do one unit type multiple times. Good night. I won't bother you anymore with my broken English. Your broken English was totally fine, dude. You were awesome. You could feel free to keep hanging out. I'm always happy to talk to folks, right? And your broken English was fantastic. I mean, your Google Translate English was actually better than the English most English people speak. So that's not bad. All right, so let's get some heads in there then. And yeah, I agree. Picking the orcs. Orcs as a faction are very fun for the ability to kit bash. And just have really unique and customizable models. I feel like as a faction they almost prescribe that. So when you kind of build things 100% as is, I feel like it's missing the point, I guess, a little bit, you know? All right, and then what head do we want for the archer? The archers, they just get kind of like these little muzzles. So, kind of have to figure out which one you want. kind of want a non-screaming head. So I think we'll do this one. So this. All right, we're gonna dry fit this before I do it because it's it's kind of like a little small piece. So okay, yeah, that fits great. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that a lot. No offense to anyone. In Spain, those of us who speak bad English are called beach English because it is basic English uh, used to flirt on the beaches. That's awesome. That's actually a really cool thing. And I think your beach English was fine. I think that's very cool. And the more you learn, right? I definitely didn't know about that, so I think that's really neat. And yeah, your English was perfectly fine, dude. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Look at that. Now, the one weird thing about these werewolves, about the entire line of Zerkali, and I'll none of them have tails. Yeah, they're all tailless, which is interesting. I prefer my werewolves to have tails, but um, just thought it was interesting that none of the Zerkali have tails. All right. Hell yeah, that's pretty cool. So we got kind of a more feral werewolf there. And then we have our archer. And then we've got our bigger werewolves, or our armored werewolves. Oh, this one has an eye patch. I didn't even notice that. That's super cool. And then we've got our monks. Now, very, very good miniatures. I agree. It's really cool. This is a Hammer Terror Films. Hammer Terror Films. Maybe like a horror movie? Like a you mean maybe? Yeah, that phrase I'm not familiar with. I'm sorry. So, size comparison. These are the demons that we built last night on stream with the monks. And then here's the big demons with the monks. And then the big demons with the werewolves. So you can see the big demons are considerably bigger. The big demons are more on par with these guys' sizes. And then you can see these guys and the demons there. Now, Okay. It's just getting some more minis for size comparisons. So, Games Workshop, Ganger for Necromunda, and our monks. So you can see they're actually really well sized together. And our werewolves. And our big werewolves. Big werewolf and Wargames Atlantic Automaton. I fucking love these models. Medium werewolf. Monk. So again, they're fantastically sized. Monk and Wargames Atlantic Pestigor, or Beastman. Beastman and Werewolf. So they're actually pretty considerably sized. Beastman and Big Werewolf. Big Werewolf and Stargrave. Stargrave and Medium Werewolf. Stargrave and Monk. The monks are sized. You could probably actually switch the pieces with Wargames Atlantic and put them on the monks if you wanted a bunch of like gun monks or something. And then the minis, I care the most about them matching. Warlord Games, World War II historical minis. So you can see they're pretty freaking great, spot on. Oh indeed. And then Big Werewolf and Warlord Game guys. Actually, these would be really freaking cool if I painted them up like they were stone. And they were like stone statues come to life. Oh, that would be so cool. All right, we might be doing that. That would be really cool. If they were like stone statues that came to life. And then here's the other one. And then here's the big werewolf and the World War II guy. So you can see the World War II guys, or the big werewolves, aren't really as like giant as these guys. So like I don't think I would have them fight tanks like I would these guys. Like these guys are perfectly sized to 1-on-1 tanks, but these guys are a little bit smaller. So you get kind of a feeling for that there. Is a World War II Marine is good. I agree. Yeah, he's very well sized for this. And very fun minis from Warlord Games. They're very fun. And since I'm going to use these guys for my Empire of Japan Weird World War II army, I kind of really wanted to make sure that this size comparison really worked. You know what I mean? Because these are what I really want to use them for. So yeah, I might actually paint these guys up like statues because they would make really cool statues. The one without the helmet, not so much, but we'll see. We'll see. But I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call it there. We've gone to check out 2 of these. If you want to see the demon box, that's up on the channel from last night. 0 indeed. I agree. World War II or Korean War. I painted this guy up as World War II, but the gear is very, very similar. The equipment is between World War II and Korean War. So the Marines were dressed very similarly between the 2 wars. But I want these for the Empire of Japan, so like Japan's World War II army. That's what I want the werewolves for. So they'll be fighting my Marines and my like Rangers and stuff like that. So should be a good time. Should be a good time. And they look like they'll fit very well. But I'm gonna go ahead and call it there. Thank you guys for watching. The rest, the unboxing for the demons and build for the demons is up on the channel from last night if you would like to watch it. And yeah, I might be back tomorrow with something else. We'll see. We'll see. I've streamed 2 days in a row. I might just take tomorrow and chill. So we'll see what happens. But I'm going to go ahead and call it there. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully catch the next one. Yep. Also, as soon as this is done, the VOD will be up. So if you want to watch it, go for it. And I did the other unboxing last night. I did these guys last night. So I know that's already up there as well. But so yeah. Anyway, I'm calling it there. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good one. And